So, as the title of this video would suggest, today I will be playing the most popular games on Roblox in terms of concurrent player counts, and I'm going to be seeing what all the hype is around them and kind of giving my thoughts about which ones I think deserve your playtime and which ones don't deserve your playtime, and what I think about the state of popular games on Roblox in general. So, let's begin.
Bombardino crocodilo.
Right, so the first game I'll be discussing today is Steal a Brain Rot. This isn't the first game that I played, but it's pretty much the most simple game out of the three that I played in this video. And I'll be honest with you, there isn't really much to discuss when it comes to this game. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The whole goal of the game is to steal these brain rot characters, which are basically like Italian brain rot and stuff. And you have to bring it back to your base, and you get money from these characters every so often, kind of like a tycoon. And the more money you have, well, the more money you have. And you can buy these brain rots that go down a conveyor. It sounds so stupid me saying that. But you can buy these brain rot characters that go down a conveyor. And the higher rarity they are, you know, the more income they generate, but the more expensive they are, as you might have guessed. And if you buy a brain rot, people can steal that because they can actually buy it while it's coming to your base, and then you have to buy it back to get it back. It's weird. I don't know like why that's a feature in the first place, but I guess it is. Now, the weird thing is, like, you can steal people's brain rots and stuff because you can go in their base and steal their stuff. But what I find weird about it is that, like, you can lock your base, which you can do that in like any tycoon really, but in this game specifically, you can lock your base the whole time, pretty much. And I thought the point of the game was to like steal stuff. So pretty much like 80-90% of the time, it seems like you can't even steal anything, at least in the server that I joined. Now, I only played for like 40 minutes. I honestly kind of regret playing those 40 minutes just in general, but I only played 40 minutes. Sorry, I had to adjust myself in my chair here. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't really know for sure, but it just seems like the stealing aspect of this game just isn't even there. Or is very minimally there. That's not good grammar, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of a disappointment. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting from a game called Steal or Brain Rot, but, you know. I mean, something. Just a little something extra, you know. The brain rots themselves aren't anything to write home about, like, design-wise. They're just okay. They're made up of, like, very basic textures and whatnot. And, I mean, they look like the characters, just more blocky, which is kind of how I'd expect it to be translated to Roblox. So, designs are okay. I don't really care about them either way. It's a very basic game, though. Like, you basically just spawn a tycoon. You get money by buying brain rots. You can steal people's brain rots if you want to, but like I said earlier, that doesn't really matter. So, it's basically just a brain rot tycoon, pretty much. Except, not really, because you just buy stuff that gives you more money, so it's basically capitalism. So, yeah, that's all there is to this game. There's also a shop, I think, and there was like a fusing thing, which I never got to test out. And there was also this, like, wheel you could spin that I got a free spin on during this Galaxy event. Who the hell knows what that means? But that was about all that I really did in that game. It was honestly very boring. But besides that, I mean, like, I don't have anything else to say about this game. It's okay. I don't really know how to rank it or anything, or how to rate it. I'm not really ranking these. I would say literally play anything else. This game's just a massive waste of time. Yeah, I'm not sure why it has, like, well, at the time me playing it, it had, like, 800,000 players. I'm not sure why. It's a very simple and basic game. I can see how it might be addicting, but I don't even find the gameplay loop that addicting in the first place. So maybe it's just because I'm old. I don't know. But, yeah, it's a very basic game. So, yeah, I hate Italian brain rot, so I don't really think fondly in this game anyway, but, yeah, it's just very basic, and it's whatever, I guess. I really wish there was more of an emphasis on the stealing part, because it's like, you can barely even do that. I mean, you have weapons to steal with. You can, like, hit people with bats, And I saw this one guy with the glove. I don't know how you get that, but maybe it's a skin. I don't know. I didn't bother to figure that out, but honestly, that's about it. I would say the most fun part of this game is smacking people with a bat, so yeah, pretty disappointing, honestly. So, let's go on to our next game. Well, next game on our list is a pretty popular one, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. It's called Grow a Garden. I am pretty confident most of you know what this game is, but if you don't, it's pretty much a game about, as you might have guessed, growing a garden. You can buy seeds, and then you can plant those seeds in your garden to, well, grow plants. And you wait for them to grow, and then when they grow large enough, you can collect them and sell them to get money. And then you can buy more seeds, and you keep building your garden, etc., and you just basically build as big of a garden as you want. I believe there's these special fruits/vegetables you can get, or special seeds. I myself got these like wind struck plants, like special plants or whatever sometimes. I'm not sure like how rare that is or if that just happens from time to time. But yeah, I got some plants, put some seeds down, and I grew some stuff, and that was it. That's all I did. Because honestly, that's all there really is to this game. It's basically just a farming simulator, but like without much of the interesting parts of a farming simulator. Basically, what it kind of felt like to me is a watered down like Stardew Valley, I'm not gonna lie. It really did feel like it. I barely played Stardew Valley. It just feels like a watered down version of that to me. I don't really understand the hype around this game. I think when I played it, because this was like yesterday I believe, it had around 1 million people online. I just don't understand really. I just don't really find the game that enjoyable. You basically just, you buy seeds, you wait a pretty decently long time for the plants to grow. You get the food, you sell it, you buy more seeds, and there's a certain amount of stock of the seeds, by the way, so you can't just buy as many as you want. You have to wait for the seeds to come back in stock. And then you just keep doing that, and I guess you can get like rare seeds and get better plants and get cooler gardens and stuff. Apparently there's pets in this game and there's skins and stuff, but I mean there's just not really much else for me to say. It's the same situation with Steel or Brain Rot. It's just a very simple game, and I literally don't know what else to say. I would just be saying filler if I said more, because there really isn't much else to say. You plant stuff, you grow stuff, you sell stuff, and that's it. I mean, just play any other farming game, honestly. This game is very bare bones in content. I don't really understand why so many people play it. I guess the kids see all the flashy colors in people's gardens and the rare exotic seeds and fruits, and they're like, oh my god, I gotta get online and get this, or I'm never gonna get it again. FOMO is a very big problem in a lot of these games, I've noticed. I'm only going to be reviewing 3 of these games today, by the way. I think I said that earlier, but I noticed in some of the other more popular games, there's always a FOMO aspect. If you don't know what FOMO is, pretty much it's the fear of missing out. It's just abbreviation for that. And it's exactly what it sounds like. People are going to be afraid that they're going to miss out on some cool offer or like skins or whatever, and they have to get them within a certain time frame or else they're never going to get it, so it pushes people to play the game more and probably spend more money. I feel like that same tactic is being used in this game, and unlike Steel or Brain Rot, which I just thought was kind of boring and a little like meh because it has like the AI brain rot or whatever, this game I feel like is actually kind of predatory in the sense that it forces people to keep playing the game to get like rare stuff, and for that reason I really don't suggest you play Grow a Garden. It's a very manipulative game, and there's just better options out there. So definitely not getting praise from me. It's a pretty mad game. I won't lie. I actually really don't like it. This is kind of like a survival game. You can play it by yourself or with friends, and pretty much the main objective seems to be hunting down these missing children in the forest, all while trying to survive the various monsters and starvation while you're in the forest or wilderness. You have to hunt for food, you have to build shelter, you have to explore the area. Like I said, you need to find those missing children, I believe I'm not sure if they're required to like beat the game. I don't even know if you can beat the game. I think it just goes on forever. But apparently, saving the children help you. I never got to save them because I always died pretty early on. Call it a skill issue. I think I should have just played with like some randoms. I honestly regret doing that. So that's my bad. But regardless, I just didn't survive that long. I did play with a friend, and I unironically got farther myself than with him. So yeah, I don't know. We probably just suck at this game. But that's pretty much the gist of it. It's a survival kind of game. You have to fuel up your campfire. Your campfire is basically like your saving grace in this game. If the campfire goes out, then you're basically cooked. Because there's this tall deer creature thing. I don't know what it is. Let's say a cryptid or something. And if your campfire goes out, it will automatically start like booking it towards you. So yeah, don't let your campfire go out because you will probably die. But what's funny about that, now that I mention that, you can actually just hide in buildings from the deer. So if you're getting charged at and your campfire is just out, you can actually just hide in a building, and like as long as I guess the building is small enough, the deer just can never get in there. It's just stuck outside until day comes out, and then or day comes by, and then it just runs away because it always retreats when day comes. So that's kind of meh. I don't know why they didn't account for the fact that you could just go into a building, but maybe I just got lucky with a building spawning near me. Maybe it's not like very common. I don't know. But yeah, speaking of those buildings, you can also loot various buildings and structures around the map to get items and stuff. And then you can use some of those items to either like consume or fuel your campfire, or you can put them into a grinder and you can craft stuff in a crafting bench. There's definitely a bit more variety in this game than the other two that I played. It definitely seems like there is more of an effort to try and make something that's actually somewhat addicting, but not like in a FOMO way, more so in like this game actually is kind of interesting to play, and you can actually do some interesting stuff with it. Like I set up bear traps around my base at one point, I believe, to try and keep these cultists out, which, by the way, they invade your camp like every few nights, I think. So, yeah, you have to deal with those guys. I kind of brushed over them. But you have to fight cultists and monsters like that, and the wildlife around the area that's hostile. Well, some of them are hostile. And that's basically it. It's kind of like just a survival game. I don't really know what else to say about that. There's weather, there's crafting, like I already said. There's hunger. You have to eat food every so often. It's about it. So that's all I can really say about the game. It's not that I think it's bad, by the way. I think, objectively speaking, out of the 3 games I played for this video, I would say 99 Nights in the Forest is definitely my favorite. Not necessarily because I think it's like great or something, but because it actually has like a somewhat interesting gameplay loop rather than just like sitting there or like going back and forth, and also a bit of just sitting there. Like, you actually are doing stuff in 99 Nights in the Forest, and the other 2 games you're not really doing much. It's alright, it's a nice little survival game. I don't know if the whole point was that supposed to be scary or whatever. I can see they might have been trying to do that, I don't know. But regardless, it's a nice little survival game. I think it would be better if I play with friends, but I played it solo. It was fine. Honestly, I think the game's a little tedious sometimes. I felt like I wasn't really getting access to many weapons or other things I could craft that weren't just part of my base. So, if there's anything I would suggest adding like more weapons you can make, unless I'm just missing something, which I probably am. But it's not a bad game. It's kind of like how I feel about Forsaken. I'm just going to briefly mention Forsaken because it's not really the point of this video. But Forsaken gets like 200,000 players. So it is like a popular game. It's not quite popular enough for me to bring it up in this video. I guess I will mention it, but I'm not going to make it like a major part of the video, if that makes sense. So, Forsaken, I think, has the same kind of thing that I believe in with regards to 99 Nights in the Forest, where I think the game is fine, it's decent. I do think both games are a little overrated, though. Forsaken less so, because I think the gameplay loop's definitely a bit better in Forsaken, and clearly they do have a very high level of quality, and they're always patching the game, addressing bugs, and they're adding some cool new content every once in a while. It does seem like Nine Nights in the Forest also has pretty frequent updates. I think they have updates pretty much every week that are about like adding new content to the game and adjusting stuff. So it seems like the developers do care about the game. There's a bit of monetization. I didn't notice anything that was like really bad in the game. And honestly, I know a lot of people will just hate monetization in any game, just in general. But in my opinion, I think if there's like just a little monetization that's not required and is completely optional in the game, I don't really think that's bad. You have to understand these games are free, and these devs obviously want to make a profit off of their game in a not all that scummy way. So I don't really see the problem with that. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's some crazy monetization in this game that like absolutely sucks and could be considered pay to win. Honestly, I don't care. This is a survival game. It's not like this is a multiplayer game. It's not like we're playing Fortnite and you bought a skin that gives you like X-ray vision or something. It's a survival game. It's okay. It's not really that big of a deal. So yeah, that's all the games for today's video. Let's talk about the games real quick. Let's talk about my thoughts on everything and what I believe the future of these popular Roblox games will be, and what I hope the future is, at least. So, to conclude this video on the most popular Roblox games, honestly, I think they're okay. They're not really like terrible games, besides Grow a Garden, which I really don't like the push for FOMO and microtransactions in that game, even though it's not like anything crazy. I think mostly the games just don't appeal to me. It's not really that they're like all that bad or anything. They just don't really appeal to me, and that's fine. We all have our different tastes. If you enjoy these games, it's not really a problem with that. I just personally don't enjoy them. Do I think they deserve the kind of player counts they get? Debatable, but like I said, it's subjective. If you think so, then that is what you think so. If I think so, that's what I think so. And I mean, that's all we can really say about it, you know? Different games, different people like different things, you know? Is how it is. Now, I personally would say 99 Nights in the Forest is my favorite. I think I said that in the last part, but out of the three, I would say that game was my favorite just because it had a somewhat interesting gameplay loop, and the other two were just really boring. But with that out of the way, what do I think about the future of these games? Well, I think 99 Nights in the Forest has a lot of potential if they keep updating it and they kind of expand on some things about it and whatnot. But the other two games, honestly, I just don't care about. They're whatever. I don't really think they deserve their player counts, but it is what it is. I mean, they're okay games. That's all I have to say. I think in the future, it would be cool to see games try and do something really cool and unique that kind of warrants the games having a higher player count. I feel like most of these games have a high player count, but they're not really all that interesting. But I can see potential in it. I just don't personally think Roblox is going to be doing all that well in a few years' time. I really don't think so, you know, with all that legal stuff, but that's not the point of this video. The point is, you know, are Roblox most popular games something to check out? And my answer to that is mostly not. I would say give 99 Nights Forest a try, but like I mentioned, it's not anything great either. It's decent, you know. And as for the R2, they're okay, I guess, if you like really don't know what else to play, but I would generally stay clear of them, especially Grow a Garden. That's about it, really. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Anything you want to add or suggest for videos, or you want to add to this video, let me know. And that'll do it. Have a good day, you guys. Take care.